If you think of Australia as a beautiful place filled with nice people, which it still is, it's almost beyond conception what is happening there right now. For example, an Australian woman called Haley Hodgson just spent 2 weeks in a coronavirus internment camp in Howard Spring, Australia. Oh, there are no internment camps in Australia. Yes, there are. Listen to her describe her experience.
You feel like you're in prison. You feel like you've done something wrong. It's inhumane what they're doing. Like, you are so small. They just overpower you, and you're literally nothing. So because I was so distressed, and I said, can you just please let me out for a walk or a run? Like, I'm in this little box and I can't move. Can I please, I'm anxious, I'm feeling not well, I need to get out. And they literally said, we've got a doctor calling you and we'll get some Valium prescribed to you that you can call us anytime you like and you can have Valium.
Yeah, here's some Soma, just medicated away. So this is happening to a lot of people in Australia, and not just the powerless. An Australian senator who has been critical of COVID restrictions was recently forced into a quarantine camp despite testing negative for COVID repeatedly. And now the government of Australia, which he has criticized, just sent him a $4,000 bill while he's in detention. Hard to believe it's real, but it is. That's Senator Alex Antic joins us now. Mr. Antic, thanks so much for coming on.
Thanks,
Again, everything about this is impossible to believe given the very warm and positive feelings most Americans, including me, have for your country. Are we overstating any of this?
Well, the only thing that's not right about that so far, Tucker, is that I haven't got the bill yet. I'm led to believe I will have. That's written into law here, but that's really a sideline issue here. No, look, you're not. I have been concerned about some of the powers that have been gifted to the unelected bureaucracy in this country for a long period of time. I've spoken about them quite forcefully, and in fact, I've been seeking documentation very recently from local health bureaucrats, which were effectively upscaled up to a higher body a week before I was told that upon my return from my job in Canberra, which you'll know is effectively our Washington,
yes.
I would be asked to come into, well, told, I should say, to come into a Medi hotel, which in Australian parlance is a hotel which has been turned into a detainment facility. And so, that was completely out of step with other people's experiences, completely out of step with what had been done in my previous trips to Canberra and back. But here's the kicker, and here's the thing that gives away what was going on here, Tucker, is that 10 minutes after I found that information out, I got a call from a journalist who also knew about it, who also knew all the details. And when I arrived at the airport, there was a camera crew and a photographer and a journalist all there to capture it. Tucker, the message is real. If people want to speak out, and they can do this to me, they can do it to anyone. I've never been more concerned about the things that are going on in this country.
Well, it's just absolutely beyond belief. I mean, if you're forcing someone but you don't have COVID, and you've been tested multiple times, as I understand, right? Okay. If you can force an opposition politician into an internment camp for no real reason, then, I mean, I don't want to attack Australia, which, again, everyone in America loves, but that's not the way we understand democracy at all. Like, at all.
No, and just to correct that, I'm actually a member of the government, both state and the federal government. So
I meant to say someone who has criticized the policies, which obviously you have.
You're quite right. Yeah, you're quite right. I have. Look, and the issue is this, Tucker, and this is the lesson for the United States. Parliaments all over the country in Australia have gifted unrivaled powers to their bureaucrats, and they did so on the basis that we were told it was 2 weeks to flatten the curve. They never did so on the basis that there were going to be 2 years to keep people locked down and mandate vaccinations. The bureaucrats everywhere across the world, but certainly in Australia it's true, they never like to get out of the warm bed of power and coercive control.
Yes.
They won't do it here, and I tell you, they are holding on for dear life. It is here, across the country, you would have seen the pictures, your viewers would have seen the pictures coming out of Victoria, where the police there have been using strike-breaking tactics against children, against old women, against the populace generally, and the Parliament over there has just gifted powers to the Premier which are unrivaled. He can effectively do whatever he wants, whenever he wants, and for however long he wants in relation to pandemic response, which includes similar things that you saw with that first young lady up in the Northern Territory who was basically taken from her house because security footage showed her walking the streets with someone who ultimately tested positive for COVID. This is madness.
It is literally madness, and I'm not even sure if you're aware of this, but so many people are denying this is happening or making excuses for it that we're just very grateful, Alex Antic, that you were here with us tonight. South Australia Senator Alex Antic. God bless you. Thanks.
Thanks, Tucker. Thank you.